Hello, welcome back, guys, to IT Basics for You. We are here with our new topic, which is Microsoft Copilot, which was earlier known as Power Virtual Agents, and typically helps you build interaction channel for your customers, for your employees, through which they can send their queries, questions, and you can use Copilot to revert back with your responses in an automated fashion. And there is much more beyond to that, which we will be covering up in this video. So stay tuned and let's go through the content. So the first question that comes to everybody's mind is what is Microsoft Copilot, right? Definitely, as any other product of Microsoft, it's a GUI-based solution, low-code solution, low-code tool. You do less coding. Most of the time, you're typically writing expressions and not actually writing a piece of a code as such. It's easy to use, and it allows for building up an interaction channel which can help you meet your employee satisfaction, customer satisfaction related scores. The overall Microsoft 365 Copilot has a couple of components out there, as you see on the screen. It starts from Microsoft 365 applications like Microsoft Excel, Word, Teams, PowerPoint, Outlook, and so on. These are requesters. The customer request typically gets generated here, and through different mechanism. One of them could be Microsoft Flow, through which these requests go back to Copilot. Copilot sends it back to Microsoft Graph. Like, here is your query that needs to go out to the models. The Microsoft Graph typically analyzes the query and make sense of the query, and does the grounding and sends it back to the large language models. The large language models take that input, take that prompt to generate an output. And while it is generating an output, the good aspect of it is it doesn't capture any customer data. That's what Microsoft commits. It doesn't capture any data. It doesn't use that data to train the model. Rather, it generates an output through the pre-trained models, which are there in Azure OpenAI, and then it generates a response, which is an LLM response that goes back to Microsoft Graph for post-processing or grounding or for security and compliance checks before showing the answer to the user inside their application, which is Microsoft 365 application. That's the way the whole gamut of things work within Microsoft 365 Copilot ecosystem. Today we'll be reviewing how we go back to the Copilot portal, how do we create our first Copilot, how do we do certain configurations, and how do we tune that Copilot for our own consumption. So let's get into that. All right, guys, let's see how to go and create our first virtual agent, or in the modern world, we call it as a Copilot. Here is your website. Once you have logged into Microsoft 365 and you have opened up Copilot Studio, this is the website where typically you will go and you will create your new copilots. So let's get into one of those and build it out ourselves and see how it works. So you go and you click on new copilot, uh, provide the name of the copilot. Let's say in this example, I want to probably build a copilot which is sitting on top of some banking data. And let's see HDFC as one bank, and we are creating a copilot for HDFC. We'll keep the language as English. Copilot does support multiple languages for consideration, but for our demo today, we'll pick up English. And then we will enter the website. In this case, since we are using HDFC Bank, then let's use HDFC Bank website. Once you do that, click on Create. Will take couple of minutes to create an instance for you where you can go, you can do more configurations. But the best part is the website that you mentioned to the Copilot, it actually went and has linked that website, the content of the website back to your Copilot, and now you are ready to use that knowledge base to allow your customers to write a query, and you are able to respond them to their queries through this Copilot as well. So considering this is all linked, now I can go and put some queries. So let me try. Uh, how do I open a savings account, right? So what it will do is it will go to the HDFC bank content, and then it will fetch information for you. And you can see here it has provided you the relevant details like how to create a savings account. You can go online, open a savings account online with HDFC Bank. You can use your mobile phone or laptop, fill out certain form, complete the process. Best part is you can avoid physical visits. So anybody who doesn't know how to go and open an account, this and rather than screening through the whole website of HDFC Bank, now you have information on your tips, right? A point specific response. You made a query, you got a response, right? Let's see another one. This time I'm going to check for the minimum balance in savings account, right? So let's say what is minimum balance for saving account. That it again checks the knowledge base and you get a precise response, right? To open a savings regular bank account, a minimum initial deposit is required. The minimum balance requirement for saving account is determined by the bank. However, for HDFC Bank, the minimum average monthly balance required is 10,000 rupees. Again, to the point response, right? What else do we need? And as I click on this response, you can also see, how the attachments, certain more details are being provided, right? When we first typed our query of opening an account, it gave us specific link, so I can go to that direct link and create an account. Similarly, for minimum balance, it again gave me some relevant documentation, relevant content along with the response that it generated. Let's see another one. How do I file a complaint? This is an interesting topic, right? Customers at times are unhappy, they want to raise complaint, and if they don't get a right place to raise a complaint, then they get pissed off, they get irritated, and then it leads to customer dissatisfaction also. So look at this, what you can do from a chat perspective, right? What you can do from a virtual agent perspective. You just mentioned, I want to file a complaint, or how do I file a complaint? And it again gave you a precise response, like how you can go and create a complaint. And again, the relevant artifacts supporting that as well. So this is how it can actually make best use of the content, how it can help your customers raise their queries, get their responses then and there, and help themselves, which will definitely lead to higher customer satisfaction uh, for any bank, any organization like this. Okay, so this is about a simplest of the virtual agent or a copilot that you got created on any of the websites. But that's not end of it, right? The copilot also allows you for adding more content, adding more data, so that more responses can be generated against customer queries. So for example, if I want to add a functionality or capability where people can ask about trading account as well. So I can link it to some external sources. I can link it to HDFC Securities in this case, or if I have relevant documentation with me, I can upload those documents, or alternatively, I can link it to the SharePoint site as well. In this case, let me go back and click on the browse option here and go to my specific location where I have a document which I can use, like guidelines to online closure of trading account. So let me just load this document into my CoPilot, and you see it got uploaded, and this gets uploaded into the Dataverse, which is the backend database for CoPilot. And in a couple of seconds, the data from this document also gets utilized by the Copilot, and you can have your responses put into that. So now if somebody says, hey, how to close a trading account, the Copilot should be able to answer those questions as well. And this time it typically goes and refers to the document that we have uploaded, right? So you can see here now it is started responding to the trading account related information, which otherwise was not available on the HDFC banking side. So that's the way you can continue to upload more documents, or you can link it to your knowledge base. You can link it to a particular folder where you have a lot of documents and content. You can link it to your company data sources as well, and then it can utilize that to respond to your questions. Okay, now since we saw about how different type of data sources can be plugged into Copilot, let's come down to some content moderation, right? I mean, we are seeing people asking questions, Copilot responding, but there can be situations where Copilot doesn't respond, or Copilot generates a wrong response as well. There are certain options that you can configure out here. If you want to avoid incorrect responses, then by default you can use content moderation as high. It will generate fewer answers, but your responses will be precise, crisp, and to the point. If you want to go and experiment with medium, it generates more answers than high content moderation classification. The responses in some situations may be less relevant. And then the last one is low, where you will get responses to all your queries, but not all responses are accurate. Most of the responses may be inaccurate as well. So these are different settings that you can use along with the content modernization. Okay, so this brings us to the end of this video. Hope you liked it. For more such videos, please subscribe to our channel, and you can continuously watch more videos which are coming up on this channel. Thank you very much for your time, guys.